Have you ever wondered what drives a group like Hamas to continue fighting for decades, despite being labeled as a terrorist organization by many countries? And what's behind their actions that can spark intense conflicts, like the one that erupted on October 7th? You might be surprised to know that their story is deeply intertwined with the complex history of the Middle East, and understanding it can help you make sense of the news headlines that seem to pop up every few years. The question of what Hamas wants and how they plan to achieve it is one that has puzzled many, including those who live in the region and are directly affected by their actions. For instance, if you're an Israeli citizen, you might be worried about the safety of your family and the future of your country, given the repeated rocket attacks and violent clashes with Hamas. On the other hand, if you're a Palestinian living in Gaza, you might feel frustrated and hopeless, trapped in a cycle of poverty and violence, with limited access to basic necessities like clean water and electricity. Meanwhile, if you're just an average person trying to stay informed about global events, you might feel overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information and conflicting opinions surrounding Hamas, leaving you wondering what's true and what's not. To answer this question, let's start from the beginning. Hamas, which is an acronym for Harakat al-Muqawama al-Islamiyya, or the Islamic Resistance Movement, was founded in 1987 by a group of Palestinian Islamist activists, including Sheikh Ahmed Yassin. The organization emerged during the First Intifada, a wave of protests and violent clashes between Palestinians and Israeli forces that began in the late 1980s. At the time, Hamas was seen as a more radical alternative to the Palestine Liberation Organization, or PLO, which was the main representative of the Palestinian people in international affairs. Hamas's founding charter, which was published in 1988, outlined the organization's goals and ideology, including the establishment of an Islamic state in Palestine and the liberation of all Palestinian territories from Israeli occupation. Over the years, Hamas has become known for its militant stance and its use of violence against Israeli civilians and military targets. The organization has launched thousands of rockets and mortars at Israeli cities and towns, and has carried out numerous bombings and other attacks. In response, Israel has launched several military operations against Hamas in Gaza, including Operation Cast Lead in 2008, Operation Pillar of Defense in 2012, and Operation Protective Edge in 2014. These conflicts have resulted in significant damage to Gaza's infrastructure and a major humanitarian crisis, with thousands of Palestinians killed or injured, and many more displaced from their homes. Despite the violence and the humanitarian crisis, Hamas remains a powerful force in Palestinian politics. The organization won a surprise victory in the 2006 Palestinian legislative elections and has since maintained control over the Gaza Strip. Hamas has also received significant support from countries like Iran and Turkey, which have provided the organization with funding, military aid, and diplomatic backing. However, Hamas's relations with other Palestinian factions, including the PLO and the Palestinian Authority, have been more complicated. The organization has clashed with these groups over issues like corruption, governance, and strategy, and has been accused of undermining the authority of the Palestinian leadership. In recent years, Hamas has faced significant challenges, including a major economic crisis in Gaza, which has left many Palestinians without access to basic necessities like food, water, and electricity. The organization has also faced pressure from Israel and other countries to disarm and recognize the State of Israel, which Hamas has refused to do. Despite these challenges, Hamas remains committed to its core goals, including the establishment of an Islamic state in Palestine and the liberation of all Palestinian territories from Israeli occupation. The organization's leaders have continued to call for resistance and jihad against Israel, and have vowed to continue fighting until their goals are achieved. The conflict between Hamas and Israel escalated significantly on October 7th, when Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israeli military targets and civilian areas, using a combination of rockets, mortars, and drones. The attack, which was the largest and most intense in years, caught Israel off guard and resulted in significant damage and casualties. Israel responded with a major military operation, including airstrikes and ground incursions into Gaza, which has resulted in significant damage to Palestinian infrastructure and a major humanitarian crisis. The conflict has sparked widespread condemnation and calls for a ceasefire, but it's unclear how the situation will unfold in the coming weeks and months. As we watch the situation unfold, it's worth reflecting on the deeper issues that drive the conflict between Hamas and Israel. At its core, this is a conflict about identity, belonging, and the right to self-determination. It's a conflict that has been fueled by decades of violence, trauma, and dispossession, and one that will require a fundamental transformation in the way that Israelis and Palestinians relate to each other and to the land they share. As we consider the future of this conflict, we would do well to remember the wisdom of the ancient Greek philosopher, Aristotle, who said that, "We are what we repeatedly do, and excellence is not an act but a habit." The question of how to achieve excellence and peace in a conflict like this is one that has puzzled many for decades, and one that will require a deep commitment to understanding, empathy, and nonviolence. As we move forward, it's worth considering what we can learn from the past and how we can work towards a more just and peaceful future for all.